What is up, Addicts? In this video, we'll be talking about this week's quadruple money event week as well as the property and vehicle discounts. This event week is for May 2nd through May 8th, 2024, and is themed around racing for this week. So the current prize ride for this week is the Willard Eudora. It's primarily based on the 1960 Buick Electra, mixed with some other cars as well, and has a normal price of about $1.2 million. To get it for free this week, you have to get top 3 in an LS Carmate Series race for 3 days in a row. In regards to performance, it's in the muscle car class and is one of the slowest vehicles in that class, which is to be expected for a car like this. But obviously the reason you buy this car is not for the performance, it's for the awesome styling and customization it offers. I absolutely love the Eudora, and I highly recommend it for you classic car collectors out there. It's just a really cool looking car. But anyways, continuing to the test ride vehicles for this week, we have the Albany Alpha, the Infernus, and the Stinger as well. And all 3 of these are Remove website vehicles, so definitely make sure to pick them up this week if you don't already own them. And for current gen console users, we have the Vivinite as the HSW test ride vehicle for this week. Continuing to the casino podium vehicle, we have the Benefactor BR8. This one is primarily based on various Red Bull Racing F1 cars, and has a normal price of $3.4 million, which is wild. This one's in the open wheels class and is the fastest vehicle in that class around most tracks. It's kind of ironic how I just made a video last week for the best cars for racing and said it would be great if they put this car on the podium / prize ride, and here it is. So pretty crazy. So definitely try your best to get it off the podium this week if you don't already own it. In terms of the dealership cars for this week, in luxury autos, we have the Baller STD and the Vigero ZX convertible. Continuing to Simeons, we have the SC1, the Landstalker XL, the Zion Classic, the Deviant, and the Wolfsbane bike as well. And all of these are Remove website vehicles, so definitely make sure to pick them up this week if you don't already own them. Moving on to the discounts, in terms of property discounts, we unfortunately don't have any on sale this week, a real shame. However, we do have a good bit of vehicles on sale this week. So, continuing to vehicle discounts, starting off with the test ride area, we have 30% off the Stinger, which again is our website car. This one's in the Sports Classics class and is a below average performing car in that class around most tracks. Also, it doesn't really offer any visual customization, but the main reason you buy this car is for styling. I think it's a good looking car that looks great in a classic car garage. Next up, onto Simeons, we have 30% off the SC1, which again is a Remove website car. This one's in the supercar class and is one of the slower ones in that class for track performance. Also, the styling, at least to me, is a bit strange looking. I'm not too much of a fan of the way it looks, drives, or the customization either, but the fact that it is a Remove website car and not really that popular also makes it a bit forgotten, so I guess if for that reason, if you want to buy it, it might be worth picking up this week. Continuing, we have 30% off the Landstalker XL. This one's in the SUVs class and has pretty average performance in that class. It's not all that fast or super slow either, it's really just normal. It does offer some decent customization, but honestly, even at this price, I still think it's a bit overpriced for what it is. Moving along, we have 30% off the Zion Classic. This one's in the Sports Classics class and is a top 15 performing car around most tracks, which is pretty impressive. It's a quick little car for sure, plus it has some great customization as well. I personally love the older BMW inspired cars, and I think it's definitely worth owning, since it's just a really good overall vehicle that's also a Remove website car. Moving on to Legendary Motorsport website, we have 30% off the Banshee. So this is an OG car from a sports class, which isn't really all that expensive to begin with, so not really all that useful of a discount, but at least it's something. Next up, we have 40% off 3 of the 4 open wheel cars, which are the DR1, the PR4, and the R88. But again, as I mentioned earlier, the BR8 that's currently on the casino podium is the fastest one around most tracks, so really only buy the other open wheel cars if maybe you're looking to build like a race car garage or something. Next up, onto the Warstock website, we have 30% off the Hunter helicopter, which is one of the best attack helicopters for combat, having countermeasures, barrage missiles, homing missiles, bombs, an explosive turret for your co-pilot, etc. Just a really great all-around helicopter. However, it is most useful when you have a co-pilot with you. Moving along to Alias Travel's website, we have 30% off the Sea Sparrow. So this one offers homing missile upgrade, and unlike the regular Sparrow from the Kasatka, this one can actually land on water, however it is slower. And you do need to own a hangar property to buy this one, so keep that in mind. Next up, we have 30% off the OG Maverick helicopter, which is pretty random, being a generic Pegasus vehicle. I just don't see a reason in buying this one, especially since it spawns normally to fly around for free. And lastly, onto the DocTees website, we have 30% off the Squallow boat, which again, pretty random. I don't see a reason in buying this one either, since it's just a random OG slow boat. But anyways, moving along to the gun van, we have the following weapons available this week, and 30% off the MG as well. Continuing to quadruple money, we have 4 times money on taxi work, which is decent, but even with this bonus, if you do taxi work for about an hour, you're only going to earn about 100,000 on average, so not all that great, but for those of you who like role-playing and stuff, this might be more enticing for you. Continuing to triple money, we have triple money NRP on the RC Bandito races, and the open wheel races as well, which is pretty cool. So those open wheel races with max players and a good amount of laps do pay out pretty hefty for the top 3 positions for the most part, and a good amount of RP as well. So it might be worth messing around with this week if you've been looking for something to do. It's a bit more fun. And that's unfortunately it for bonus money. They honestly should have made all the race modes triple money. I think that would have helped significantly, at least my opinion. But only those 2 really isn't the greatest. In regards to the weekly challenge this week, if you win 3 open wheel races, you'll receive 100,000 and the Rockstar Racing suit as well, which looks pretty sick. Continuing to the weekly vehicle robberies from the salvage yard business, again these only change once per event week. We have the cargo ship robbery with the Itali GTO Stinger TT, the gangbanger robbery with the Dominator GTT, and the McTony robbery with the Blista Conjo. However, none of these are claimable this week. We should get our next one sometime next month. And lastly, for the time trials, this week's normal time trial is LSIA. I highly recommend a car with a high top speed or quick bike for this one. For the premium race, we have the Supercar Race Cutting Coroners. I highly recommend the Emerus, Krieger, or Maggio for this race. And if you're on current gen, I highly recommend using the HSW Weaponized Ignis or the HSW Cyclone 2. And lastly, for current gen console users, the HSW time trial is Del Perro Beach. As always, the HSW Hakachu Drag will be the best one for these. In terms of my vehicle discount pick of the week, I'm going to have to go with the Hunter helicopter. It's just a great overall combat heli, and seeing as Rockstar has been putting less and less aircraft on sale over the last few months, if you've been wanting to get this one, I definitely pick it up this week. Anyways guys, overall this event week I would say is decent. No properties on sale and only 3 things on bonus money. I guess the biggest saving grace is the casino podium car and the quantity of vehicle discounts, but not the best picks for some of them, like the random OG Maverick and the Squallow boat for example. So with that, I'd give this week a solid 6 out of 10. But as always guys, let me know what you think down below in the comments. Anyways, again guys, thanks for watching, hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.